honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I'm Daniel Reyeneiju. I represent Warri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, I stand to bring a motion bordering on the urgent need to investigate the dumping of substances suspected to contain toxic elements in cocoa community of Warri Federal Constituency of Delta State. Mr. Speaker, the House notes that in June 1988, a national phenomenon of toxic waste with massive sludge, slurry, and carcinogenic waste dumped occurred in cocoa community, Warri North, in Delta State, which resulted in illness, including stomach upset, headaches, failing sight, death, apart from the environmental damage to the aquatic life of the people. House also notes that over 2 decades after the above infamous toxic waste in cocoa, another substance.
Order, please. Order, honorable members, please take your seats.
Suspected to contain toxic elements.
Silence, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The House also notes that over decades after the above infamous toxic waste in cocoa, another substances suspected to contain toxic elements, carcinogenic waste, has been dumped in same cocoa community this year in 2017. The House further notes that the toxic waste was found to be laden with polynuclear aromatic hydrocarbon, which is PAH, oil and greases, total petroleum hydrocarbon, TPH, and BETEX, that is benzene, toluene, ethylene, and xylene, and some heavy metals with value higher than acceptable by the Department of Petroleum Resources and World Health Organization standard. Aware that Section 25 and 26 of the Petroleum Drilling and Petroleum and Production Amendment, Regulation 2006, regulates the production and discharge of sludges and accidental spills from oil and gas production installation within the territory and territorial waters of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Section 20 and 21 of the Federal Environmental Protection Agency Decree 1988, and harmful waste, special criminal provision, Decree 1998 specifically regulates hazardous waste management in Nigeria. The
Silence, please.
Aware.
Honorable members, please take your seats. Order, please.
The House is also aware.
Please take your seats. Jerry Alabeso, please. Honorable Jerry. Honorable Jerry. Honorable Manguno, please. Allow Jerry. Please. Honorable members, please take your seats. Honorable Ikechuku, Toby Ikechuku, please. Honorable Jerry, can you quickly go back to your seat, please? And trim your tummy.
My elder.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was also aware that the environmental guidelines and standards for petroleum industry in Nigeria, issued in 1991 by the petroleum industry and reviewed in 2002, prohibits the discharge of harmful waste and pollution of inland waterways, rivers, watercourses of Nigerian or sea by oil. Concerned that 80% of oily sludges are considered hazardous because of the presence of toxic organics such as aromatic polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon, which is PAR, and complex compounds with very high molecular weight, such as...
Order, please. Silence, honorable members. Honorable Shekarau, please take your seat. Honorable Shekarau, please take your seat. Honorable Nasir Garo, please go back to your seat. Honorable Hembe, please. Honorable Jerry Olabeso, take your seat.
The House is also concerned that the carcinogenic waste contains substances or agents that can cause cells to become cancerous by altering their genetic structure so that they multiply continuously and become malignant. Worried that the consumption or the absorption of toxic and carcinogenic contaminant by plants and lower animals will ultimately lead to bioaccumulation of humans from the food chains in nature, which will result in organs failure and death. Also worried that during the rain, surface and underground water, which is the source of drinking water of the people, is gravely contaminated through seepage of toxic and carcinogenic substances into the aquifer. Mr. Speaker, the House is disturbed that the area around the dump site is residential and a primary school with its numerous pupils and teachers also share a common perimeter fence with the waste dump site facility. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the House resolved mandate the House Committee on Environment and Health to investigate the dump of the toxic waste and the extent of its environmental impact on the community and report to the House in 4 weeks. Mr. Speaker, I so move. In Warri Federal Constituency from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, let me recall the consciousness of this Parliament to June 1988, when the news of substances that contained toxic elements in high proportion was dumped in this same Cocoa, a town which is also the headquarters of that particular local government. Mr. Speaker, it is barely 25 years ago when this unfortunate incident happened. Mr. Speaker, I visit Cocoa very often. Mr. Speaker, Cocoa is the place of my birth. And Mr. Speaker, by the grace of God and the people of Warri Federal Constituency, I also represent the good people of Cocoa. Mr. Speaker, it is too frequent and it is just too early for us to have such waste dumped 20-something years ago and having it to repeat itself in just another 20-something years thereafter. Mr. Speaker, one would want to ask, are there no regulatory agencies in this country that oversees such sites? The answer is, Mr. Speaker, we have more than enough. Then, Mr. Speaker, the question is, are these agencies actually doing their job as they should? Mr. Speaker, the answer to me will be close to no, they are not. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, because this motion is going to be investigative, I will want to restrain myself so that I don't run into being judgmental, because the result of such investigation will be brought back to this Parliament. And because of the sensitive nature of these incidences, because of the complex nature of this episode, and because of the complexity...
Please, honorable members, please, silence, please. Honorable Rano, please take your seat. Order, please. Honorable members, order, please.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Because of the complexity or the complex nature which the investigation will go through, I will try to restrain and also keep my sentiment to myself until the House committees on the various agencies that borders on such waste issues comes back to the House with its report. Mr. Speaker, but having said that, I think that the relevant government agencies of this nation, which has its mandate, which has the mandate of this parliament, which gets...
Honorable Fakaye, please, order. Honorable Chuchu.
Mr. Speaker, I'll repeat this because it's very important. I repeat it that the relevant government agencies that is concerned with developmental issues, that brings their budget on yearly basis to cut away thousands and billions of naira to discharge their responsibilities and therefore open offices in various communities, various states, various local government headquarters just to make salaries and don't do their job must be called to order. Mr. Speaker, like I said, I am not going to go too deep into discussing this issue. Nobody in this country, most especially in the oil industries, will tell me that they do not know the effect of sludges from crude oil. We have the DPRO, we have the FIBA, we have NOSDRA. All of these agencies are also situated in this same Warri federal constituencies. Where were they? Because from information at my disposal is that this company has been carrying out this business for over 10 years in that same community. Where are the NOSDRAs? Where are the FIPAs? And where are the environment ministries? What are their responsibilities? Mr. Speaker, the primary responsibility of any government is to protect the lives and property of its citizenry. Mr. Speaker, these agencies have failed us. These agencies have refused to carry out their mandate, and as such, if I have the powers, I would have even recommended. I do not have it. Will I go ahead to say we should do it? But let me say it and put it on record that these agencies have not lived up to their expectation. Mr. Speaker, I thank you. My honorable colleagues, I also thank you. I so submit.
Honorable Engineer Farouk. Those against it say nay. The ayes have it.
Honorable